Hello everyone, I'm Vitor and you're welcome to my channel. And this time we are going to make some arrowheads. In the last video I showcased a crossbow that I created, but it didn't have much accuracy because the bolts were not very front heavy. This one doesn't have an arrowhead yet, such as this one. So let's make some arrowheads. The method I used to create the first arrowhead was to pick a piece of metal like this one, maybe a nail. This one I tried to make a forge, but it didn't work out. That was the maximum result I can get with, and I'm gonna sharpen it with this sharpening metal tool, it's electric tool, and then cut it, and we can proceed. I also gonna use those piece of metal, but the first one I'm gonna try this one. This specific bolt I have to add some rubber bands at the tip, because it was not front heavy enough when I add this little piece of metal. So I think I'm gonna have to cut it a little bigger, the tip, the arrowhead, make a little bigger. Another thing that is interesting to show you is that the arrow the bolt was a little broke, so that was one of the reasons it was not very front heavy. That's why I had to add a lot of weight at the tip, which is not gonna be a big problem in those ones, because those ones they are not that broke. This one is in perfect state. This one is a little broke at the end, but be aware of those things before making the arrowheads, because you have to make sure that the arrowheads are front heavy. Now I'm gonna show what I mean by saying they're front heavy. Now let's pick this one that has an arrowhead. Probably if you're very experienced at archery or crossbows and any sort of thing, you probably already know this, but if you're a beginner and are trying to make some bolts or even arrows, this is something that you probably should know. One of the things that you have to be aware when you want to make something very accurate is not only the fletching. The fletching is of course very important to make the arrow fly straight and spin it in its own rotation. But another thing that you should be aware is the weight at the tip of the arrowheads. Because if they're not any weight at the tip, it can it's not gonna fly very well. How do you check if the front weight is enough? You just check out right here and see where it falls. As you can see, it's not perfectly front weighted, it's more like in the middle, but it's more at the front. The weight is more distributed at the front, which it means it's gonna have a better accuracy. And this is something you should be aware of it when you're gonna make the arrowhead. Make sure it adds a little bit of weight and don't make it too light. So let's make the arrowhead. As you can see, the shape is being formed like an arrowhead. Already have a tip. Now it's time to make it sharper by making the shape of a sharp knife or a sharp blade right here at the sides. Then cut it and put on the bolts or the arrow, depending on which one are you making. As you can see, the shape of the blade is basically complete. I'm not an expert at using this tool. I actually just recently started to use it, but you can get pretty nice results from it. It's quite sharp, and I think it suits an arrowhead. Now I just have to cut it like right here right here, depending on the arrow. I'm gonna cut a little bit bigger piece of metal, cause this one I made too small and it didn't work very well, so I have to cut a little bit bigger piece of metal. The arrowhead is ready, sharp, cut it. Now I'm gonna have to put in one of those bolts. The thing is, I made it to fit in the magazine, so I have to cut a little bit of the tip, carve a notch to fit the arrowhead, put the arrowhead, and then use a string to wrap it up and make it very tight. I'm gonna use this one because it's already broke a little bit right here at the front, so maybe cut like here would suit me well, would probably allow a little better balance. So here we go. Now I carve the space for the arrowhead. I have to cut a little bit of the bolt. As you can see, it's a little shorter. Now I just have to fit the arrowhead right here and wrap it up very tight with this little string that I use to make this the crossbow string. Just wrap it up very tight and see what I came up with. So the bolt is ready. The arrowhead is placed in the right place. It's quite sharp, and now I have to see if it's front heavy. Still have to make this one, but I don't think I have to record it. Let's see about the weight. Let's check it out, the weight of the arrows. So this one doesn't have any arrow tip, but it isn't broken. It doesn't have an arrowhead, so it's not supposed to be front heavy. As you can see, the weight, it's going backwards, which is not good. I have to make an arrowhead for it. This one, the first one I made, which is not that sharp, I probably should make it a little better, but it was my first time doing so. And I wrap it up some rubber bands. As you can see, it's more likely to be front heavy, but not enough, I think. And this one, the one that I just made and recorded, it is middle heavy, I think. The weight go a little bit frontwards, but not enough. It's just in the middle. Maybe I should wrap it up something around here, make a little tighter, because as you can see, it's not tighted enough. Maybe put some glue, wrap it up something else, add a little bit of string to add more weight to the tip. But now if you watch my latest video about the crossbow with the magazine, you probably saw that I didn't have much accuracy. Let's test it out with my crossbow now. So now let's shoot with a crossbow. There is a cardboard box right over there, of which I'm going to try to shoot it. The first bolt is the one without any arrowheads. Let's see how it goes. better than I thought. Now let's test. One sec. Okay, now let's shoot the second arrowhead. The bolt. Just stuck at the magazine. Here we go. Now let's shoot the second bolt, which is the one that I showed at the beginning, with the rubber bands at the front, which is the most front heavy I have. Yeah, just go a little bit to the left for some reason. I still have to fix that. Now let's test the final bolt, which is the one I just made it. This close, but it was accurate. I didn't hit the target, but was very close to that, and it flew very straight. I think the only bolts that are actually not working is this one, that it doesn't have any arrowheads, but it, for some reason I hit it right, and the one with the rubber bands is not working quite well, but I have to fix it. So this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed and maybe add some knowledge to your maybe just add some knowledge for you to make arrowheads or bolts in general, or how to have a better accuracy at homemade crossbow, homemade bows. And this is it for now. Check out my other videos in the channel if you like medieval stuff, crossbow, archery. I have a video on how to make a bow. I have another video showcase this crossbow. I just make it crossbow with a magazine, a homemade crossbow with a magazine. I hope you enjoy it. See you soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and here we go. Bye.